Peace and love. How is everybody doing? For those of you who are watching this video later, right now, nobody's in this live as of yet, but hopefully some people come in. But if not, we're still going to continue to go because people might not even know that I'm going live. Oh, somebody's in here. It's been a while since I've been consistent with posting videos. I kind of became very inconsistent because there's been a lot going on. As I always say, there's been a lot going on. But we are here today to talk about financial literacy. The question of today is, do you possess financial literacy? And what is it anyway? So first of all, to get into the topic of what is financial literacy, just before we even get into whether you possess it or not, because you have to know what it is before you can say whether you possess it or not. Financial literacy is, do you know how to make money work in your best interest? Do you know how to make your finances? Is your finances working for you or is it working against you? You get what I'm saying? Are you working for money or is money working for you? Or is it both? Because some people it's both. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. It's me. It's a lot of both. I have not gotten to the point of having passive income quite so much yet. It's almost like it's on the borderline of passive income, but it's not quite passive income yet because I still, like my books, for instance. My books are in stores, but I still have to constantly go and check on them to see if it needs to be restocked because I have not built up the relationship yet with the store owners for them to, I guess, to place the orders themselves through my web link, which I do have a link that they can place the order through, but apparently we don't have that type of relationship yet where they feel like they want to do that. So I still have to go and check on my books and restock them myself. So my income is not passive yet, but it's right there on the border. But there's a lot of people, most people work a 9 to 5. That is very not passive income because if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. Unless you get paid like a salary. But even a salary is not quite considered passive income because, you know, if you stop working for that company, then your salary stops as well. You may get paid, like say if you get sick, you will still get paid your salary because you get paid a set amount per month. But if you ever stop doing that job altogether, then you stop getting paid from that. Whereas passive income, you do work today and you continue to get paid from there on forward without you having to really do any more work. So like my book, I wrote my book. If I could get my books in a store where they are placing the orders and re-upping on the product without me having to go out there and check on it and so on and so forth, and they just get it direct from my production company, then that would be passive income because then I would just get my money coming into my account every month. But financial literacy, like I said, is just the difference between you working for money or money working for you. Money working, your finances working for you or your finances working against you. Let's to put it more plain, do you have assets or do you have liabilities? If you have both, do you have more assets than you have liabilities or do you have more liabilities than you have assets? You get what I'm saying? Do your liabilities outweigh your assets or do your assets outweigh your liabilities? So financial literacy is learning how to get it where your assets outweigh your liabilities. Or even more so, the most financial literate people knows how to eliminate their liabilities and increase their assets. So they can replace their liabilities with their assets. And the reason I decided to do this video today is because we finally have a sponsor. So our sponsor is a new company that is allowing people to a platform and a group, a community, notifications, a community to learn about financial literacy and to network with other people who are already well versed in financial literacy, who is very financially literate, and people who are learning about and developing financial literacy. And it's an investment group, so it allows you to connect with other investors. If you're not an investor yet, I suggest you get into investing because that is very key to financial literacy. The wealthiest people are investors, even if they're business owners, because even if you're self-employed just means you work for yourself, but you still have to get out there and do the work in order for you to make money. If you don't get out there and do the work, you don't make money because you don't have money working for you and you don't have people working for you. So the only thing that's working for you is you. So that's self-employed, which is better, is a higher level than being an employee, which under certain circumstances, there's nothing wrong with being an employee, but to level up is to be self-employed. Now, once you get to self-employed, the level up from that is business owner. And the difference between self-employed and business owner, as I explained, as a business owner, you have people working for you. Now, the level up from that is investor. And as an investor, you have your money working for you. So when your money comes in, you invest that money back out and it brings back more money. And then you invest that money back out and it brings back more money. So the goal is to eliminate all of your assets, your liabilities, because when you invest that money out, you turn the investment that you're putting that money into is an asset. But if you're just always spending money on stuff that's not bringing money back, then those are liabilities. So the goal is to eliminate the liabilities and replace them with assets. So with this company that I'm about to tell you, and I have it linked in my show you, and I have it linked in my description below. It's a very new company, but it's an awesome company. It has an awesome plan set up for you where it's easy to get started in it. These notifications. It's easy to get started in it. It doesn't cost very much to get started at all. It's very little overhead because it's not a brick and mortar business. It's not like, it's kind of like banking, because there are banking services in it, such as loans. You can get loans from them, and I'll get into that later. But they don't have a brick and mortar company, so they have a lot less overhead. The company has a lot less overhead, so they don't charge a whole lot for providing the service for you to grow your money. I'm trying to figure out, let me get back to it. My head be going because, like I said, it's been a lot going on, so bear with me. But I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys about this company because I think it's an awesome company. And I'm very glad that I can get up here and promote it to you guys because, as I always talk about, how much I like helping people. It was people that helped me and put me onto some things. Where do I have it? I know I already have it open. Okay, so what we're going to do, that must open up on top of it. I don't know because I didn't open that. We're just going to go to their website. The company is called My Group. It's MI Group. And it stands for Melanin Investment Group. And that's the thing I love about it. That's one of the things I love about it as well, is geared towards melanated people. We don't have a whole lot of assets that are geared towards us. We have a lot of liabilities that are geared towards us, that people stand in very long lines, camp out in tents and everything to buy these liabilities. But we don't have that many assets that are geared to our people, to us. So this company is set to take us in a step in the right direction with that. So now people can line up to set up their accounts with my group and start growing their money. And the awesome thing about it, while I get into it, bear with me because my mind doesn't it doesn't do a whole lot of things at one time. It does and it doesn't. Let me get the site open first, and I'm gonna start talking again. And it has a long domain name right now because that's just the temporary name. Like I said, it's a new company, so they're just getting started. But it's an awesome company, and it's going to go far, and it's going to take you far if you just get in on it. So if you can see, this is the website. And I haven't searched through this website on my phone before. I use my computer to search through it. So as you see, it has a very welcoming landing page with the name of the company, and it says, congrats for choosing financial health. And then you go down and it says, welcome to my group. I like the warm hands holding somebody else's hands. It reminds me of your grandma soothing and comforting you. Let me read it to you. It says, welcome to our family. We are so happy to have you here and even more excited to help you expand your financial future. In this group, every member is family. We protect you and your assets as family should. You can rest assured that you are in good hands in my group. And then when you click this contact button, that takes you to where you can email them. So then you have the benefits. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's long, but you can go to the website and read it. But it breaks down the benefits of joining the group. And it's a lot of great benefits. And then you can go here and it goes into more depths of the benefits and the fees. And the great thing about it, there's no hidden fees, there's no fine print or anything like that. Like if you go to the bank and you deal with loan company, you deal with 401ks, you deal with IRAs, whole life insurance. I just recently tried to get a whole life insurance policy and I got denied because of the medical exam they did for me, which came back with some levels was supposed to be high. But when I went and checked that with my doctor, it wasn't high, and they said that it was probably just because I was probably just dehydrated at the time. So I got denied simply because of a medical test that was inaccurate. And it was a very long process just understanding what all of the workings of it was. And the whole time they let me see the screen sometimes, but for the most part I wasn't really seeing the writing. It was just being explained to me and summarized to me for the most part. And then when you go through the exam process, they do it over the phone part before they even send somebody to do a physical medical exam on you. But the over the phone part is very invasive. It dredges up like a lot of stuff that it's almost like you're in therapy, but it feels like you're in a therapy session with somebody who really doesn't care. They just all up in your business. And with this company, and I know because I have an account with them, and so I have a few accounts with them, but they don't get all up in your business just for you to get an account. Um, yeah, when you first try to sign up, and I'm gonna show you that literally all you have to do is put your, I think it was your email, you put your email and a password, and then they will contact you, and you will go through the qualification process, and you get approved, and you have your account, and then you can start. When you set up your account, you do your initial investment, which I'll get into that when I get to the finances. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the benefits, and I'm going to give you a little small breakdown of the finances, because the finances are plain and simple. So I'm going to go through a little bit of the benefits, because some of the finances is in the benefits. So each account, because it's just starting, each account, everybody's account starts with $50. Now it costs $100 to get in, which is still not much, but that $100 is $50 out of that $100 is going towards the company for how they're helping your money to grow, and for paying the teams, and that's keeping the business running. And then the other $50 is your money that's going into your investment account, and that's where your money sits. And you have terms. So you have two terms that you can choose from. You can choose a 5-year term, or you can choose a 10-year term. And that's perfect, because a lot of times when you have a mentor or you have a coach, a lot of times they'll tell you that you need to set up a 1-year plan, a 5-year plan, and a 10-year plan. Well, a 1-year plan, that's more short term. But this is more on a mid long term investment. So a 5-year will be like midterm, and 10-year will be more like a long term. Um, it allows you to set your money there, kind of like if you would in a 401k or IRA or whatever. You set it there, and you don't. The goal is to not pull it out. But if you pull it out, it's just going to cost you a little bit. But it's really not costing you. It's coming out of your the money, that the growth money. So it's still more than likely, depending on how long you keep it in there before you take it out, it will be coming out of the growth and not out of the money that you invested. So either way, you will still win. But the goal is to keep it in there for the long term. Keep it in there for the full amount of your term. That way, when you take your money out, you're not losing any of it. You get the full amount of your growth and the money that you put in. You get what I'm saying? So $50 go in there, and you put $50 in there every month. So your first month you pay $100, and then after that you pay $75 a month. Now 25 of that dollars is your membership maintenance fee. Now the other $25 from your $100, the first $100 you put in, so $25 is towards your setup fee, your setup cost. The other $25 is your membership maintenance cost. And then $50 is your money that's going into your investment account. So you're really paying $50, and you're investing $50. You know what I'm saying? And then every month is $75. So $25 every month for your maintenance fee. And then you're still investing your $50. So you're really only paying $25 a month, and you're still investing your $50. So within if you do the 5-year plan, that money will grow into over $15,000, just to keep it simple. It's over $15,000. And if you keep it in there for the 10-year plan, that money grows into $300,000, over $300,000. And how does it do that? The way it does that is like this company. It's called Melanin Investment Group. It's an investment group. So what they do is they take your money and they invest it for you, but they're not investing it in the stock market, which could it fluctuates. Sometimes the things can go up a little bit, go down a little bit. Sometimes it can go on a downward slope, and it seems like it's never going to come back up. Sometimes it's rising and rising, rising, and then you get excited, and then you think it's going to rise, and then it crash. So With this, we're not investing in stuff like that. It's not investing in the stock market. It's investing in stuff in more stuff like houses and property, real estate. Real estate property values, yes, you have ups and downs, but it's investing in the type of real estate that the win-win type of real estate, if you know what I mean. And that's something I've been wanting to get into for a while, is real estate. So this is a great way to do it at little cost, little I ain't gonna say to no cost, because you're still investing your money to set up your account, and you're investing your $50 a month. But for what you're investing in, it's basically no cost. Like I could have done that when I was homeless. Um, you take $50 a month and you put it in there, and that $50 get invested into stuff like real estate, into precious metals, and just stuff like that. So it's a good combination between a REIT investment, but it's also a good combination of like benefits like whole life insurance, which is why I was explaining about how I just recently tried to get whole life insurance, because I like the way a whole life insurance policy is set up versus a regular life insurance policy. Because with a whole life insurance policy, my focus was the cash value. And with this company, when you invest your $50 a month, your $50 a month is growing in cash value, very similar to a whole life insurance policy. So with a whole life insurance policy, at least with the company that I was going with, I think they said you have to wait a year before you can start withdrawing money from the cash value. But you're not really withdrawing the money from the cash value. You're taking out a loan against yourself. So I don't know if you've ever heard of infinite banking or family banking, but it's an awesome plan. It's something that we all should look into and start working on doing, and setting up our trusts, and setting up our own family banks. But with this company, it allows you to do that just like you're investing into a whole life insurance policy. As a matter of fact, it's even better than a whole life insurance policy, because I don't remember what they said that their interest rates was, how much your money grows by. I think it may have been somewhere like 2 to 3%. But with this company, your money grows by 5%. So, and that's compounded. So when you invest your $50, the next month that $50 grows into $55 plus the extra $50 that you're adding in for that month. So, and then the next month, that total amount grows by another 5% of that total amount. So every month, the amount of growth is also growing. You get what I'm saying? It's compounding interest. So instead of you going, you know how you go and get, a lot of people went and go get payday loans and so on and so forth. And the thing about payday loans, which is a big reason I think why they shut them down during this pandemic, is because a payday loan is basically setting you up for failure unless you really know what you're doing. If you're getting a payday loan to pay on a liability, you're screwing yourself. But if you're getting it for an asset that you know is going to bring that money back like tenfold or 100-fold and quickly, then you may be able to work it. But most people aren't doing that. But with this, the same thing that a payday loan is doing to you, now this company is doing that for you. So when you put your money into this company and you invest through this company, you're investing in assets like properties, real estate properties, and precious metals, which is always going to rise, especially gold. Gold, listen, if y'all still sleeping on gold, I don't know what's up. But it's investing into assets that are going to continue to rise. And so you're getting that, you're able to get that compounded interest in coming to you instead of coming from you. So instead of you constantly leaking money and then you get so buried in debt that you don't even know how to get out, now your money is growing at that rate. So it's an awesome system. So let me get back into it. So you have no questions. I'm gonna just go through the headings. The the main topics. So you got guaranteed high interest rate growth on your investment. I just explained that. And then you have no questions asked loans. So let's talk about the loans. So with the whole life insurance policy, like I said, the company that I was working with, if I recall correctly, you have to, after a year, you can start taking out a loan against your own account, against your total balance, your total account value, which is the money you put in plus the growth, which their growth is like 2 to 3% maybe. The growth of this company, the growth of my group is 5%. So you have 5% growth on your money, and after 6 months, you can take out a loan up to 50% of your total account value. So, but very similar to a whole life insurance policy, when you take out a loan, you're not taking the loan out, you're not taking the money out of your account. You're taking out a loan from the company, from the group. So you pay that back, but the money that was in your account, that still stays into your account and still continues to grow at compounded interest. Now, I personally would recommend, and this comes back around to financial literacy, I would recommend that if you're going to take a loan out, make sure you take a loan out that you can pay back before 30 days. That's what I would personally do. Take out a loan and make sure you make a way that you can pay that back in under 30 days. If you pay it back in under 30 days, you don't pay the interest. So now you was able to take out a loan, use it for what you needed to use it for. Hopefully you use it to obtain more assets, and that assets is bringing back more money. And then you pay that loan off before the 30-day period. You still had your money sitting in your account the whole time as if it was never touched, still growing interest as if it was never touched. But yet you're able to continue to take loans out. But the thing is, you can't take a loan out. You can only take up to 50% out at a time. So you can't exceed that 50% of your cash value. So it's not like you can keep on taking it out and not paying it back. You take it out and you pay it back. That way you don't have to pay the interest, but you're still gaining interest, but you're still able to use the money. You get what I'm saying? So it's awesome. I love it. Awesome. So I just broke that part down for the most part. Then you have health and emergency coverage. This is the part that's like, I don't know any company that's doing this. So what this is, if you have a medical emergency, an applicable medical emergency, like say if you get in a really bad car accident and you don't have insurance to cover that accident, to cover that debt, or if you have any type like let's use my situation for example. So when I had my baby 3 years ago, I had an illness called HELP syndrome. I didn't even know this illness exists, so I had no preparations for it whatsoever. But I was essentially on my deathbed for a month. Fortunately, I had health insurance through Medicaid. But let's say for instance, I was in a situation where I didn't have health insurance and I had that situation happen. That's a lot of medical bills. That was a lot of medical bills that would have came to me. So if I had on my group account, those medical bills up to the value of the total value, not 50%, but 100% of my account value, I could have sent my medical bills to them and they would have paid up to 100% of my account value. The thing is, the hope is that you don't have to go up to your whole account value, because, you don't want to cancel out your account. But I don't know if does it cancel out your account? Let me see. You're allowed to use, let me read it. It says you're allowed to use your account to cover applicable medical and non-medical emergencies. If you were to run into a qualifying medical or non-medical emergency, you can charge the bill to your account. You do not have to worry about making payments to pay this back. Unlike the loan, this comes directly from your account. If you have multiple accounts, you can choose to disperse the cost between separate accounts or to charge it to one if it is less than the value of said account. So, yeah, I would assume that obviously if you use the total amount of your account and you not paying it back, I will have to find out. I will have to figure that out. Yeah, but that's a great thing because if you have a medical expense, like even if your account, let's say you've had your account for like 7 years. After 7 years, your account has grown a lot. Hopefully, you don't have a medical expense that's that huge. So you send your bill to them, and that comes out of your account. Now, I would assume that may deduct the amount that you get back at the end of your term, but I don't know. I have to look into that. But it says no limit on number of accounts per member. So that means you can have as many accounts as you want. You don't have a limit. Like you can only have 2 accounts. You can only have 1 account. You can only have 5 accounts. No, you can have as many accounts as you want. And the reason they have it set up like that, I think, is because you're only allowed to start your account off at $50 and do $50 a month right now. Now, later, I'm thinking they may change that, but right now, everybody's account starts off as $50 and you're putting in $50 a month. So if you want to invest more, then you just set up separate accounts. You just set up multiple accounts to add up to what you're doing. There's no account age minimum, so you can set up accounts for your children. Now, I'm certain if you're signing up for children, you would probably have to sign off on it as well. It's not like they can just set up their own accounts, but you can set up accounts for your babies to make sure you're setting them up for their futures, which is awesome because the goal is to build generational wealth. It's not just to build wealth for yourself, but it's to build wealth for generations to come. Like I said on the front cover, the front screen, the landing page, wealthy people plan for at least 3 generations. It said 3 generations. I say at least 3 generations because I'm planning for far more than 3 generations. You have revolving accounts. So you can set your account up, even though you have the 2 terms, the 5-year and the 10-year. You can set your accounts up where they can be revolving accounts. So more than likely, the revolving account will be 10-year accounts. Because if you have a 5-year account and you do it revolving, you might as well just do 10-year accounts. But if you do a 10-year account and you do it revolving, what happens is when your 10-year term is up, it will automatically roll over into a new account. And that way, it's not rolling over into a $50 account, but it's starting off as the account value, whatever the account value ended at, which is usually the over 300,000. Your new account is starting off at that 300,000, and then that's growing for the next 10-year term. You get what I'm saying? So in 20 years, boy, I can't even imagine what that would turn into. But yeah, you can have that revolving until you decide to stop it from revolving. Now, once you stop it from revolving, it's not like you could stop it in the middle of a term and get your money out without any cost. It's still going to have the cost, and we're going to get into the fees of that. I think, yeah, the fees of that for stopping it in the middle of a term. But if you let it continue out through, if you stop it in the middle of a term, it still costs a portion of the growth. You will lose a portion of that growth. But if you wait until the end of 20 years, whew, I don't even know if I can wrap my head around how much that would turn into in an even just one revolution. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, so now we get to the fees. Let's get to the fees because the fees are, you would think that they're like, you don't want to look at the fees, but these fees are awesome. Fees and charges. So you have the initiation setup, like I said, it's only $25. So that's a part of the $100 that you pay. So for the $100, $25 goes to initiation, which is the account setup fee. And that's per account. That's one time per term. So when you get a new, if you have a revolving account, or you set up a new account at the end of the term, you don't have to set it up as revolving. You can automatically request that it rolls over at the end of your term, but you probably have to let them know in advance. But if you can still choose to roll it over, but having it revolving will make it automatic. But each term, you have the initiation fee. And then you have the monthly account fee, which is your membership fee for $25. And then you have your $50 per month, which is not really, you're not really paying that. That's not really a fee. That's your investment. So if you decide to close your account in the middle of a term, you would have to you would lose 10% of your total account balance. So hopefully you're not investing for like 6 months or a year and trying to take your money out. We hoping that you wouldn't do that, unless it's like a dire emergency. But if you do something like that, you're going to lose 10% of your total balance. But you'll still get 90% at the closing of your account, which is still way more than what you would have invested. And loan interest. So when you take out a loan, it is 5% interest on the loan. But like I said, you're taking the loan out from my group, not from out of your account. So your account is still growing the interest. So it kind of it's like you're not paying any interest. It's very similar to you just paying yourself back. And also, that's also the thing I think that showed in the beginning, because I read this whole thing. Yeah, the interest on your loans and on your growth. I've lost track of what I was about to say. Oh, if you take out a loan, unlike at a bank, if you take out a loan at a bank or any other lender, if you don't pay it back, the interest compounds, and it continues to compound until they take you to court, and then they'll start putting seizures on your assets. They'll start putting liens on your bank accounts, on your job, and all types of crazy stuff. Well, with my group, when you take out a loan, you don't have to worry about that, because once you take out a loan, it grows in interest if you don't pay it back before 30 days, before the end of the month. Now, if you pay it back before the end of the month, you don't pay any interest. If you don't pay it back before the end of the month, then it starts incurring interest. But it never gets to a point where you have to go from the bank, because remember, your account is being held, is the collateral. So since your account is the collateral, they don't have to take you to the bank, because at the end of your term, if you don't pay the money back, then they just take it out of the total value of your account, and then you get what's left over. You get what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. You don't lose anything, they don't lose anything. And everybody wins. So, let me see. Is there anything else I have to show you? Oh, there's a referral bonus package, but in order to see the referral bonus package, because that's not the focus of this company, but there is a referral bonus package, because they would greatly appreciate you referring people. Referrals are, of course, welcome, as it says on the front screen, but you have to create an account. You have to request an account and get approved for you to be able to access the referral bonus package, because you cannot participate in the referral bonus program without you having an investment account. You have to be an investment member in order for you to participate in the referral bonus program. And if you choose to be an investment member, you don't have to be a part of the referral program. That's completely up to you. That's just a bonus on top to show their appreciation for you not only liking the company and sticking with the company, but also liking it enough to share it with the people that you care about and helping them to set up their accounts and so on and so forth. You get rewarded for that. So I suggest each and everybody go to the link in the description below and check out that website. Like I said, don't mind the temporary link because I know how some people are. They'll look at the link and you know, it's new. A lot of people don't like to be the first to do things. Well, guess what? You don't have to be the first. I did it. And I think it's awesome. I just broke down all the reasons why I think it's so awesome. Um, so go ahead and set your accounts up, get started. And if I personally have set up accounts for my babies because I want to make sure that my babies are set up for their futures. If I ever have a situation like I had 3 years ago, I want to know that I made sure that my babies are going to be good regardless of what happens to me. And so I hope that that's the type of thought process you have as well, because in my mind, that is a huge part of financial literacy. But anyway, I thank you for coming in and checking out my live and hearing what I had to say. This is a long video, which is why I did it live, because I already knew it was probably going to be one of the longer videos. YouTube don't even let me do regular videos this long. But yeah, I appreciate you coming through. I apologize for the being away for so long, but I've been trying to get so much together, working on so much stuff that's going on in my personal life, so much is going on in my business life, taking care of my mental health, taking care of my physical health, taking care of my baby's physical health, and so on and so forth. So I appreciate your patience with me and your understanding and understanding. I love you guys. And as I always say, stay up and stay loved, and most definitely stay safe. Peace.